All right. So, I'm Buddha Maitreya, and I'm going to be giving teachings on the tools that I provided for this planet. And they're Shambhala Healing tools. They're based on a science called Metatronics, which is I helped to develop. And most people know me from the movie Little Buddha. Yeah, Little Buddha is based on a 9-year-old child in America, in Washington at that time, and was picked up by Tibetans. And went to the house of the mother and father and told the parents that this is their teacher, a reincarnation of Buddha, and that he needed to go back to Tibet and continue his teaching as a teacher. And so that happened to me. That was my real life. They really did come and get me, and it really did take place, and I really was enthroned. As you can see here, I'm teaching, and I teach all the higher masters in Tibet, and my relationship to these students is that I first gave my tools to them. Yeah, that's who received the tools. I went to Kathmandu and I began actually making the tools there and then sharing them with High Lamas and Rinpoches. And as time went on, I continued making them and came back to America and Europe and continued making them. And some of my students were really interested in helping me in that process. So I began the process of developing tools that'll be for everyone rather than just for the Masters of Wisdom, which basically was my focus because there's so many of them, and I am not really interested in this as a marketing situation. But to facilitate, I developed soul therapy. I created all the music of soul therapy music, and I created all these tools. So first of all, the first tool that came out is an etheric weaver. Yeah, I created this when I was around 9 years old, and I was very into quantum physics. Weird thing for a 9-year-old, but that was my thoughts, and I saw things in great geometric realities as far as nature, fine tuned down to the atomic level. So I was able to feel and sense as how energy works. So I created this, which is a crystal, and I used copper wire, like these crystals here. This one here is copper wire, yeah. And what I do is that I wrap the copper wire tightly around the crystal, wrap it all the way around, have them come down, and I use two really powerful niobium magnets right here, yeah. And they pulse. They have an electromagnetic field, so they're pushing, and the wrapping is like a radio wrap, or a motor wrap. So it's working with this electromagnetic field, and the pressure on it is creating a piezo effect, which is light. A piezo effect is what happens when you put pressure on a crystal, and you add this magnet to it, and you add the pressure of this wrapping, which is constant. And as that goes on, a tiny bit of light, a piezo effect, light, generates at the center point of this crystal. So literally, as you're tapping into it, you're tapping into light. So this heals the etheric field because the etheric field is based on light, yeah, the transference of energy, yeah. So this it has here a little etching, which is the cross of Christ and a circle and a star of David. Yeah, that's my symbol. I came up with that as a child and been using it ever since. So these weavers came out, and I had them about this big when I first made them. And now there are full sets, and they come in a lot of different colors. They come in blue like this, yeah. All these crystals are grown in Siberia, yeah. There's a large lab in Siberia that grows crystals for technology and advanced technologies. So the crystals are basically the clearest form of crystal that you can create, yeah. And what it's used for is technology, vibrational effects, light, electrical patterns, all the things that's used in higher forms of technology that gives little resistance, allows light to pass perfectly, allows radiance to pass perfectly around vibration to pass perfectly. So it's a perfect tool for attuning to light and being able to meditate at an extremely high level. So I created that and put all these together. There's an enormous number of them. They come in the full color of the rainbows, and they are wrapped in the form of rainbow, and like this. It's pretty neat. So all of these are basically used as kind of like a pendulum. And what happens is that the etheric weaver is dangling. It's within the electromagnetic field of gravity. And in that field, there is chi. We're not really clearly aware of it, but it's there. And as we hold something like this up, and we put it in a place to where we have like my hand, I put it over my hand and I let it do what it's doing, which is just begins to spin automatically, and this is on its own. So as it spins, it's actually energetically pulsing through my hand and my entire body, which is really quite healing. And after a while, it stops, and that's the time that the effect has done its job. So basically, you use this etheric weaver. I use it for people who have pain, who have problems, who just need balancing, or anything like that. So I start with it sitting over the hand or the area that has a problem. And then I let the weaver spin, and it spins until it stops. And once it stops, the connection between that person and God, has made its contact. The Holy Spirit has made it through the body, it's entered through the body, and it's doing the job it's meant to do. So once it stops, that's that. Now, you can actually weave it over the entire body, and you'll find several places that will spin and stop. And those are actually rents, areas of the minor chakras and other parts of the vehicles that are rented. So it's caused by outside forces and inner side processes that are negative, and they need to be healed. And once these things are healed, you find yourself an enormously clear person of mind and emotions. Your emotions become much more stabilized, and your process of mind goes to higher mind. So you're able to deal with things with thought and have that thought have an effect over how you feel about this situation. You're not just taken over by your emotions and taken over by your physical lack of well-being, but it literally lifts you up, from those limitations into your higher mind, which begins raising up all those energies, your astral energy, and having it then come out and heal. That's a natural thing in yoga. That's a natural thing in meditation. It's a chi balancing effect. So this happens in the tools, every single one of them. And through those tools, I created the etheric weaver to be in a miniaturized form. So here we have really small miniaturized etheric weaver. So I put it in these solar forms, and they're set in a way of geometric sacredness. Everything is sacred, in this geometry. So they have tetrahedrons, and it's focused on the four sides, which is the energy of a cross, and it has inside of it, etched on it, a Sri yantra, So all of that is extremely powerful, Inside the center is the same crystal. The outside circular crystal is the same crystal. All of it is a grown crystal that's cut and set. So every single thing is at the same vibrational level. So when you're wearing this is tapping into your etheric field, and it taps into all your meridians, all your minor chakras, all your major chakras. So it literally allows the Holy Spirit to flow. And as that limitations you may have inside your vehicle, the people you know, the job that you hold, the circumstances in your life, when those things pass through with the Holy Spirit, those things transform and transfigure and transmute. So that's the effect of these tools. When you wear these tools, they're not only just protecting you, which a lot of people believe that's the main purpose of them, but it's not. It's a healing tool. It's there to protect you from the things that are causing you harm, which could include yourself, And it also allows the flow of your goodness, your virtue, your kindness, your higher mind, your change, your ability to get through your problem, you know, is affected in that relationship through the soul. Yeah, and as the soul is increased in the vehicle through the Holy Spirit, yeah, then that begins the process of right relationship to everything, better loving relationships to people, better understanding and compassion and empathy, and right way of being able to discern and discriminate. So all these tools are based on being able to do that for people. So each one is different. You can see this one here is the same as the other one. It doesn't have the tetrahedrons, yeah, biggest difference. And then this one is a pyramid, 51-degree pyramid. Isn't that special, yeah? And this is the same, you know, solar form, but it's set on a 51-degree pyramid. This is incredibly powerful. It has the same Sri yantra in it and everything. I'm not doing this to make sales. I'm doing this so that you better understand the tools that I put out. This is done for the masters. It's done for all the disciples of Christ and for humanity, which I believe is the disciples of Christ. So I'm doing this video just so that I can share with you. And then you can contact Shambhala Healing Tools and, you know, talk to them about which one you're interested in and things like that. Carry through. But right now, I'm just giving you the opportunity to witness and understand that these tools are incredible and that they hold a vibration that communicates from the earth and throughout the earth as a healing force. So this isn't just for personal healing, this is for personal and planetary healing. All the geometry in these forms are manifested to awaken temples, to awaken the temple that the earth is and the temple that you are and its relationship to temple building. Yeah, so that means ways that we think, food that we eat, people that we relate to, all of that. So here's another solar form, which is a little different than the other ones. Yeah, this is a 6-pointed star. Yeah, and on the back of it, it has a Metatron's cube. Quite amazing. Yeah, and then we have the Christ cross. And that's quite a beauty. Yeah, they're all made in exactly the same way, exactly in the same geomancy, with exactly the same etheric weavers. They just hold a pattern, like the cross, or the 6-pointed star, or a 4-pointed geometric pattern, like a cross. That's just 4 points. Yeah, all those influences. Here's another beauty here. Yeah, you know, all of these hold a pattern, yeah, that is awakened within the higher centers of the vehicles. Yeah, so these stimulate you to be more and more aligned to your chakric balance, to your spirituality. Yeah, so then I created, here I have the etheric weavers. Yeah, and I took the etheric weaver and I put geometric forms on the end of the etheric weaver, as you can see right here. So this one has an octahedron, and it has a solar form. That's incredible. That's very, very, very powerful. Yeah. So now you have the ability to hold this and receive the geomancy, the geometric configuration that's found in all of nature, all in God's mind. Yeah. And that penetrates the influence of the earth. So you're not just, you may be interested in healing yourself and all your friends and all that, but this is actually healing the earth. Yeah, it's purifying the earth. It's reducing the curses that are on the earth. Yeah, so by holding this Vajra automatically makes you feel like, meditation. Yeah, it's extremely balancing for the whole vehicle. Yeah, so as you're holding it, you can feel the energy. Yeah, and it literally, you can feel the electrical energy passing through you. Yeah, so each one of these have a different geometric pattern. This is the same form without the solar forms. Yeah. This one is one that is this is a pyramid with the same geometric form on it. Yeah. And this has a tetrahedron on the bottom. Yeah. And inside the tetrahedron is an octahedron, because that's its natural setting. Yeah. So here, this is a rainbow. Yeah. Incredibly powerful. incredibly powerful. Yeah. Then here we have the star tetrahedron. Yeah. We have dodecahedron, icosahedron. All the different geometric patterns are placed on these tools. And this one is a sky Vajra. This is the one that I carried with me for years and years and years. This is the one that's helped to move everything in through to geomancy. That's the monad. The influence of the monad is a circle with a dot in the center. Yeah? And that influence is God. Yeah? The mind of God. Yeah? So this is designed as a dharma tool, as a Vajra. Yeah? All of them are Vajras. Yeah? So in Buddhism, we call them Dorjes. Like when they came to get me when I was the young boy, they called me Lama Dorje, because that's my lineage. One time, my incarnation was Padmasambhava. Yeah? So I'm also known as the incarnation of Padmasambhava, which gives me the name of Lama Dorje. So this is the Dorje. And then we have an incredible Dorje. Yeah? This has all the geometric forms, yeah, icosahedron, dodecahedron, all combined together, yeah? And those combined forms create what I call a Christ consciousness grid, yeah? Christ consciousness. Yeah. And that means that all of the consciousness of each form, each geometric pattern, like this form, which is an octahedron, yeah? All these geometric forms are found within this. Yeah? That's incredibly powerful. Then with the weavers, we have the smaller weaver. Yeah? And this is just a carry with you weaver, and it is powerful. Every one of the weavers are the same, whether they're long and short. Yeah? This is a Vajra for children. Yeah? Isn't that nice? And then we have the Vajra Christ. Yeah. This has a Maitreya solar cross on the bottom, an ascension, which is the ascension, which is the pyramid, yeah, and the cross, yeah, an incredible, incredible tool. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? Then this is a Maitreya Solar Cross Weaver. And this is the Maitreya Solar Cross here. And that goes on to the Weaver. Very incredible. And then on a bigger scale, but still in geomancy, we're dealing with bringing energy together to unify and then to radiate. So the whole thing is the power of the force of magnetic healing, radiatory healing, and pranic healing. All three of those forms of healing are done through my tools. All three. So it all depends on you. Just exactly where are you at in your karma? Where are you at in your process of the Holy Spirit? So these help to facilitate you to get from the point of magnetic healing to pranic healing to radiatory healing. Yeah? It's an evolutionary process, and every living human being is a healer, is a child of God, and we're here to heal. So this is a Christ star. Isn't that something? It's a 12-pointed star. In it, it has all the crosses into the center. Yeah. It has the Shambhala star, radiator, solar form in the center. And this all pulses out. This pulses in and pulses out. So it's literally pulsing and radiating. Extremely powerful. This is a Maitreya solar cross. Yeah? And what we're looking at in geometric form, we're looking at a cube octahedron. We can see the octahedron right there. That's an octahedron. Now if we turn it a bit, you can see the cube inside. there's a cube right here, from here to here like that. Then it comes down like that. It goes back like that. It comes back up like that. So this square is squared all the way around. So that's a cube. And then what comes out of the cube is an octahedron. Yeah. So you see this octahedron and the cube. And this is found in nature. It's found in stones. Cube octahedron. So this cube octahedron has on it weavers on both ends. And this pulses through another weaver in the center. So it allows the cube octahedron to pulse enormously. And while that's happening, let's see if I can get this to come off there. Maybe not. Oh yeah, that one's not set up for that. But this one here is. Yeah. We have these like this. And it's a weaver. And it's powerful. Yeah. And it's radiating. Yeah. So it depends on you. Depends on your relationship to my work. You know, just exactly where you're aligned. Yeah. I recommend go where your heart sends you. Yeah. Attune to it. This is another one. This is called a medium size. Yeah. This is medium. And that's small. Yeah. But I actually started off with a big one. Look at that. That's like a nuclear reactor. That's just amazing. Look at that. Yeah. So this is the most powerful one. This one has in it, it has the solar forms at every point, solar forms on the end of every sky Vajra. And there's a sky Vajra in the center, and it has a solar form on it, right there. Right there. Yeah. So all of this is, if you imagine, this is pulsing, coming through here, pulsing through here, and this happens on all of these, like that. Yeah. Then you turn it again like this, and the same thing happens again. Right on top here, you have the same thing. Right over here, you have the same thing. On this side, you have the same thing. So on this cube, which is a cube octahedron, on the cube is this geometric pattern, yeah, that's set with etheric weavers, yeah, that have sky Vajras on the end. And this is pulsing, causing a pulse. That pulse comes into here. That pulse goes into the center of this sky Vajra, and it just sucks in darkness. Yeah. It brings it in, illuminates it, pulses it, transforms it, transfigures it, and it's gone. Yeah. So this is super duper exerciser, yeah, for exorcism on a large scale. Yeah. This is for cities, this is for states, this is for large islands, this is for large scale. And then we have the head pyramid. And this is a standard 51-degree pyramid. Yeah. On it, I put these crystals, etheric weaver crystals. They sit right at a point where you're holding it right there. Yeah. And that's perfect meditation. That's incredible meditation. Yeah. And on top of it, it has an orb of pyramids. 4 pyramids that go around and a pyramid on top. This creates an orb that allows the energy to move in its natural spiral that you would find on Earth, the movement of Earth. This pulses the energy from in here that's happening in that spiral on top of the capstone, and that's amplifying this capstone beyond your wildest imagination. Whatever comes out of a pyramid capstone is amplified by 1,000 times. So as you put this on your head, or you lay it anywhere, put your food inside of it, water inside of it, all of that becomes energized into the principles that I just talked about. The principles of magnetic healing, pranic healing, and radiatory healing. Yeah? So all of this activates that. It's not, you don't have to go be trained anywhere. You're not going to ever receive a certificate. And you're never going to become a doctor of this. But as a disciple of Christ, these are what we use. Yeah? We use these in order to awaken the qualities inside of Earth, because Earth has a perverted characteristic. Yeah? So we use geometry, sacred geometry. So here's an octahedron, yeah, and that octahedron turns into the form that is a tetrahedron. You see inside the tetrahedron is an octahedron. And then that tetrahedron turns into a double tetrahedron. Yeah? It's like what they call a star tetrahedron. Yeah? And there's an octahedron inside of that. And then that turns into a cube. And you could still see the tetrahedron. Tetrahedron's still there. Hasn't changed, still inside. Octahedron's in the center of that. Tetrahedron is right there. Yeah? And then the cube basically is touching end to end to the star tetrahedron, which gives you the reality of the physical reality of what comes out of a geometric form. You can't see these things. You can have an octahedron, and the octahedron is reality a tetrahedron. And tetrahedron is reality a star tetrahedron. Star tetrahedron is reality a Metatron's cube. Yeah? What happens from there? You take a Metatron's cube, and you have these two forms. I don't seem to have a Christ consciousness grid here. That's not good. Okay, so anyway, these two forms, you put these two together, blend them together, yeah? And what you have is a Christ consciousness grid. These two forms blended together becomes a Christ consciousness grid. Now, inside of this Christ consciousness grid can be put this, yeah? And this, in its proper size, this fits inside of this. And those two things together are called atoms Earth. That stops the negative side of the left-hand spin that turns this toward the other nature. Yeah? Now we're turning toward the nature of God. Yeah? And that nature of God is the creator. And that creative force is creating a natural evolutionary geomancy. Yeah? We can't see it, but it's there in everything, in flowers and trees and our blood cells and the makeup of everything. Yeah? So in a really interesting way, these two things blend together. Yeah? And this sits inside of this. And this becomes every single sacred geometric form that God has created is inside of one form. Yeah? Yeah? And that's, I call the atoms Earth. Yeah? And then inside of every Earth is a deva builder, but a deva. Yeah? And all of these things are angelic mind consciousnesses. Yeah? The influence of an angelic order and orderliness. Yeah? It's called Melchizedek order, but this whole thing aligns to the reality of Metatron. It aligns to the reality of dodecahedron, icosahedron, electron. All of that comes from the angel Metatron. Yeah? So here's the deva builder. And this deva builder is what's found inside of the Earth. And the whole Earth is built on this sacred design. Yeah? We have circular Earth, but we have vortexes of magnetic fields that come out of the Earth. Yeah? And these vortexes that come out of the Earth are there because we are a deva. This is a deva. Yeah? Not a diva, like all the people who say they're divas. Yeah? Those are called devils, where I come from. Devils, demons. Yeah? And there is another place where actually angels exist and archangels exist, and those are Buddhas. Yeah? And that is diva. Yeah? Very big difference. But when you get to the other side, you realize that there is a lot of names for the dark side that everybody uses. Yeah? So deva is one of those. Yeah? This is the deva builder. Yeah, this influence is the relationship to the angel, the good angel that we are. Yeah, rather than the deva, the glamour-filled, demonic, spirited being that we can be. Yeah. So by illuminating everything, by having these things come into people's lives and begin to move the manifestation of our natural spirituality, we start healing, and we heal a lot of things. We heal the earth, we heal all the kingdoms we're responsible for, and we're responsible for every single kingdom. And as we do this, we develop the fifth kingdom, the kingdom of the soul. But first, we have to get our soul. We have to illuminate and get rid of the impurities. And all the virtues that we have to attain, we must attain. And even one virtue could take a lifetime. So by attuning in this way and utilizing meditation, which is one of the main things that I do, is to help in meditation, I do music, which is called soul therapy. And in that music, I'll play a little bit in the background here. My music is established, in a way that a lot of people can align to it only because it comes from ancient order. Yeah, it comes from extremely ancient order. Yeah, I use particular Tibetan bowls, I use drum, I use certain ohms and mantras that are extremely ancient. And because we're all ancient, this isn't your first life. It's not going to be your last life. Yeah, this is just one of many lives. So as I bring about the externalization of these very ancient pujas, these very ancient ceremonies, they bring order into your life. And you need order. You don't know that life is a ceremony and that life is prasadam. So by including this music, and I do invocations of angels and the healing of the planet and the healing of yourself and the awakening of the race, all those things are done in all the different pujas that I perform. So I recommend everybody gets all the pujas and listen to them consistently and meditate as they can. Just close their eyes, calm down, and focus in on what that music is saying at that time. And it is overwhelming. When people do soul therapy, they come to soul therapy because they are in need of healing. So I created all these tools, and I created all these situations so that people can come across soul therapy. Now, soul therapy is a difficult thing to bring to people because it requires a lot of my own work as Christ. I have the entire hierarchy behind me. I have, I work in this way, and my relationship is to an enormous number masters that is very difficult for most people to even conceive. But we're the temple builders. We're the ones who built the Great Pyramid. We're the ones who, over the 500 million years of a lifetime of civilization on this planet, which I know is a shock for you to hear, but it's the truth, and I can prove it to you. We have been here for a long time. We built the pyramids because we have been here so long. The techniques and technologies that we all hold inside are soon to come out. So here I provided soul therapy pyramids. This is a standard 51-degree pyramid. It has octahedrons in each corner, a capstone to it, and the octahedron has an etheric weaver in it. So this is extremely balancing. This holds an enormous amount of geomancy, and it pulses the energy. Our planet is set in a pyramid form. It has in it the relationship of a pyramid. It has in it the embodiment of the sacred design that's found in the pyramid. Here you see the earth, and sacred geomancy is set, and the base of the pyramid is how we figured out the mapping system and where everything is located on the planet, how we get longitude, latitude, how we get time. Even time itself comes from the fact that originally, long, long ago, the pyramid was used as a mathematical mapping system in order to base the distances between different locations, and maps thousands of years ago where people couldn't have possibly gone around the world and know all these things and locations. They knew them because of the geomancy that was applied to the pyramid. So whether you're traveling, at sea, or you're utilizing technology to understand the distance in time and space, or miles, on the planet, all that is based on this pyramid. So everything is very much aligned, to the process of that pyramid. Yeah. So here you can see here in Shambhala, all of everything that I do is based on this science. This is our monastery. This is where the tools are made. This is how we put them out. All the tools are available at every Dharma center. We put the tools out, make them available, allow people to go in and do soul therapy. We do not open a church. We do not set up a system like that. All the monks and nuns are the providers, makers of the tools. I'm the one who make the tools and create the ability to train for the tools and get everybody in a very high order of quality control. So everything that comes out at my standard and with my blessing and direct influence of the sacredness of the work that we're doing. So all of this here in good old Shambhala, if ever you want to come to Shambhala, it's available to the public. People are able to come here. You have to make an appointment. We do have a healing center here, which is set up with the most advanced technologies from all around the world of energetic medicine and vibrational medicine, along with our soul therapy and other tools. All the tools that we carry are here in Shambhala. We have brought Tibetans to England in order to bless the work that I'm doing through the use of the tools and the healing of the world. That influence of bringing that, into humanity was the biggest thing in 2004 for Drepung University in India of all of Tibet. This is the Lumbum Khamsin, the highest order of masters from that university came as my students and came to Glastonbury and all of England, and we blessed England. We gave it a big blessing, and even Prince Charles got a Vajra, and it was a Christ Vajra, so it's really wonderful to be able to pass that on. I do this everywhere. So we set up a Dharma center in Glastonbury. We have a Dharma center in Omaha, in the center of the United States. And there is soul therapy available for people at the Dharma centers. And they're available in Kathmandu. We have about 4 or 5 soul therapy centers that are all clinics and free clinics, medical for everyone. And we have in Omaha, we have the Dharma Center, and we also pass out food every day. And then here in Shambhala, we are here building and working and developing all the tools and getting them out to people. And then we also provide meals and food for everybody in the local area, and make sure that all the churches and Meals on Wheels and everything is taken care of. We're not a profit organization, obviously, and we do take donation. I'm very thankful for anybody who sees what I'm doing and knows that I'm not the guy who comes out and advertises. So I'm not like anybody that does anything close to what I'm doing. So I'm very busy, too busy to be doing those sort of things. So we establish these tools, the Shambhala Healing tools, and we do that for soul therapy for the earth, for personal and planetary healing. Everybody is open and available to receive whatever tools I have. There is nothing that a person does in their life, no matter how evil you are, no matter how perverted you are, no matter how harmful you are, I would still allow you to have the tool. I would still allow you to listen to the music. It's open and available to everybody, because everybody has a soul. Everybody has a soul that needs awakening. Everybody is asleep to some degree. A lot of people are in a deep sleep, and they're in a nightmare. Yeah? And all these tools wake people up. Every single person. Yeah? Even if you're in a coma, I don't care what's going on. If you have cancer, if you have all kinds of problems going on, this is a good time to be getting connected to Shambhala Healing tools and listening to the pujas. Yeah? Combining the two together is a very powerful meditation technique that I give to the masters of wisdom. You've seen that. Yeah? It's very much part of what I do. Yeah? So the influences of my work and being able to help people, in throughout Tibet I sit on thrones, yeah, and I give teachings to tens of thousands of people, yeah, and I bless those people, and people get up and walk who couldn't walk, and people got healed that couldn't get healed ever, yeah. They all sit in this situation while I'm doing my blessings, yeah, and all I'm doing is just teaching the Dharma and helping people align to the coming of Christ, the reality of Christ. And that it's not the circumstance that people think that would be coming out of Buddhism. But, I'm just here to tell you the truth, and I'm providing these tools to help you through the healing process. Yeah, so I hope all of you come to understand, that these tools are here. They're here from Christ, and they were for the masters of wisdom. And because of my Dharma Sangha, of the students from Europe and America, because of them, I have been given the opportunity to allow these tools to be made by those particular students who live here at the monastery under my supervision, and then we're able to collectively put these tools out, and the money that we make from those tools pay for all the clinics in Kathmandu, pay for all the monasteries that we build, pay for all the children that we feed. I mean, we feed a lot of people, yeah. And we build places, we build monasteries, we build clinics, we build things, houses for people. When there was an earthquake, I built houses for people, and all of it is free. We don't charge anything. Yeah, the only thing gets charged for are these tools. Yeah, and I do that because we're in the West, and we can help, to heal the planet by doing better karma. And these are not expensive tools. They're all based on a very small amount that's being asked for what they cost. And so just enjoy, please. Receive this as a reverent opportunity and a blessing from Jesus Christ. Remember, I'm not just Buddha. I'm the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And I'm here for this reason. Yeah, to apply the physics that I have to apply to humanity, which is a quantum level of understanding that we can move through for many, many, many hundreds of years to reach the different technologies and advancements that I'm going to be bringing to Earth, such as I've already done. Yeah, so enjoy.